Morning traders, and this is your Aussie South African top 40 day trade setup for today. So ignore this tail on the daily here. That's incorrect data from GT24 yet again. So what we did end up with, so I've got the open and the close drawn in at the moment. So we did end up with a green pin bar, and again pin bar same as the top, same as this here. So the last Thursday's daily pin bar is really telling. You know, the fact that the sellers came in like that it's telling you something. Okay, we have closed above the 200 EMA, so that's fairly significant that we closed like that. But I think for the week, we pretty much ended up with a green pin bar on the week. Okay, there's no tail on the week. Let me sorry, I just want to confirm that. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 days. So up here, there is a tail on the week, and it is fairly close to that one. Okay, so we've ended up with a range bar on the week. I think that's what we're going to have to ascertain. The tail is fairly long, not as long as this, but it is fairly long as well, and it is a rejection of the alligator. Okay, now you can see how the weekly trend has held. Doesn't matter which way we do this, there's that one, and then there's that one, and then there's that one, I think. But for now, let's just take that as the weekly trend line. And we have one at the bottom here. So I'm going to draw in like that. And lo and behold, that gives us a triangle. And it's a triangle right at the alligator. And look to the left, this area of 5100, and well, this area, let's just call it 50,000 with 100 points either way, is the area that we seem to have a lot of interest in. Okay. Anyway, the daily picture is confused. If we look at the 3 hour, I have a long-term trend line there, and I have a short-term trend line right here, which we're on. Okay, now, again, ignore this last bar. That is incorrect data. Okay, now I think the patterns start coming out on the hour here. Say, head and shoulders. There's my shoulder, there's my head, there's my shoulder, and it's a break of the alligator and a retest of the alligator. And then we had the quick sell-off, and then for some reason we had buyers coming in on this last hour of trading. If you look at the awesome oscillator here, zero momentum, hovering around the zero line like this, that means there's just nothing happening. So I have the sneaky suspicion that we have a short brewing here. Okay, it's not confirmed yet from my eyes, but I have a very sneaky suspicion that these trend lines are going to break. And if they do break, we've got some significant moves to the downside brewing. Okay, the challenge that we have is pretty much the triangle that is brewing at the moment. I'm just going to get rid of this one. Okay, and then we can I will use those now. Okay, so looking at the half hour, what is it we want to be trading? The half hour is pretty clear. Gap down, pretty much nothing, then up, and then we're forming, I don't know what we were trading off, but anyway, we formed this downward trend line. Another break of the alligator, another attempt at a retest. Okay, right now, 10 cent is down 1%. Rand dollar is 14.75, so that's a lot stronger, which bodes well for the shorts. US markets were down, probably around 1%. Dow was down 1%, S&P was down 0.4%, and the Nasdaq was down 0.9%. So oil's also just hovering at the moment. But anyway, so there's a lot of issues, political issues that are driving the market at the moment, and I suspect we're going to follow what's brewing on Europe this morning. And if I look at the noise around Brexit over the weekend, that's going to add fuel to the fire. And Germany also has a head and shoulders pattern brewing, but they've also got a sort of a mini double bottom in the lower time frame. So a little bit of confusion there. But if they do break that head and shoulders, there's going to be a big move to the downside, and I think we'll follow. Okay, that's kind of the picture that I've got at the moment. So what we're looking for has this fractal. You see, this fractal here has been tested, but hasn't broken. So let's just move to the 12 minutes to get our entries. Okay, we do have a new fractal here, and then we have a fractal up there. I suspect we're going to get a gap down. Okay, and the gap is going to be below this head and shoulders neckline, and then I would expect, and it's also going to be below this trend line. So we do get a gap down. Any pullback, I'm looking for a short stop above this fractal at the moment. Okay, so if we can get back into this zone here, we're talking about a 400-point stop loss. Okay, targets at the moment are, we have gaps to the downside. We don't really have, let's get this off something bigger. So we do have this breakout test here. I'll use this one, and we've got a breakout test there with a 200 EMA here. Okay. So if we do get a gap and a run, I'd expect the buyers to come back in off 49,727, rally a bit to test a break at least, and then another move to the downside. Okay, so I am expecting shorts. At this stage, everything is looking like it is short. So expect a gap down, then some kind of a pullback to, or even with a gap onto this trend line, and then a gap close, then a move to the downside. But that's kind of the pattern that I've got for today. You're going to have to keep a pretty wide stop loss around 400 points at this stage. I think this top trend line is fairly intact. Okay, let's just close off with the ichimoku. That's going to give us confirmations that we're looking for. Okay, you're going to have to ignore this move to the downside. Okay, so first things first. I just need to calculate it from there. 25, 26, 26. Okay, so we have had the twist, 26 bars, right. So we've got a twist here. It's just twisted. The next bit of red is from this incorrect data here. But anyway, we've just twisted, and we are on price at the moment, and we've got a crossover here. Okay, a crossover, and it's flat. It's not pointing down. Pointing down is from this incorrect data. So I think at this stage, there is merit for looking for the shorts. Okay, specifically on the hour. This area up here is my stop area. Okay, and for me right now, somewhere in this area here of 49,963 is my entry. Okay, so that's exactly what I've given you on the Bill Williams. If we look at the 4 hour, the trend is up. We are below our Tekinson. Kijinson is here, and they are both pointing up, so the trend is still fairly strong. So there's no bearish signal here. Okay, but yeah, sort of if we start breaking below these fractals here, it's gonna signal a bearish entry. If we look at the daily, this is another rejection off the top of the cloud, and Kijinson and Tekinson have not crossed over. Okay, so we had a bearish cross here. Chikuspan is now coming into price. We don't have a twist in the cloud, so on the daily it's still a little bit confusing. But I do believe at this stage, longs is not what you should be looking for. It's looking like we're going to be having a trend change here. Okay, so anyway guys, that's my view at the moment. Just to review, We're pretty much looking to break the range of Friday. If we break to the downside, it's short. If we break to the upside by some miracle, then it's looking for longs. And your stop area is on either side of this range. Okay, it's 440 points, so it is fairly large. So whatever position size you trade, make sure you can afford it. Okay, anyway guys, that's it for me today. I hope it helps, and I'll catch you later. Cheers for now.